I received these work shoes for free so that I could test them out and tell you all about them. Now, the money was exchanged and all opinions are my own. And I have been testing them for about a week and a half or maybe a little bit more. And so I got my opinions on them. Now, the very first thing that caught my attention is that they are very simple looking and yet kind of good looking. I mean, looks are subjective, of course, but I like that they are completely black all around, even the soles. And the only branding that you see is the word fashion right here, which is not even the brand, I think, but it is on both sides on both shoes. If this bothers you, it is very easy to just black it out with a permanent marker, I think, and it's probably what I'm going to do. But even though it really doesn't bother me at all. Now, the second thing that caught my attention was the way that you adjust this to fit your feet. Now, this has a wheel in here that you can see, and basically what you do to put on these shoes is that you pull up on this wheel and then you can loosen the fit of the shoe, as so. Now, once you put your foot inside, what you do is you press down on the wheel and you turn it clockwise. Now, turning it clockwise, what it's going to do is going to tighten the nylon type of cable, and it's going to secure the fit of your shoe. So there's no need to do any tying of any laces. So it is actually very quick and very easy both to take it off and to put it on. So if you're someone who appreciates the tightness of the traditional laces as well as the convenience of traditional slip-on shoes, then I think that this is a very nice combination of both systems. Now, once I put them on, the thing that caught my attention is that they are not as wide as I had actually expected. Now, my feet are not very big, but they are wider, I guess, than the average. And every time I search for shoes online, I always make sure to select the wide version of whatever numbering chart that they have. Now, despite this having all of the numbers listed as wide, they did not feel as wide as I had expected. They are a little bit narrow, not so much, but at first I thought that it was going to be an issue. However, I'm happy to say that after having wearing them for several days and several hours at a time, the way that they are a little bit more narrow than I had hoped it's actually not a problem for me. I mean, I got used to it really, really quickly. I'm not sure if it was my feet that actually expanded this from the inside. I wouldn't think that's the case, but bottom line is that them being not as wide as I had expected was really not an issue for me. So they do feel relatively comfortable for several hours of use. Of course, this being work shoes, there are a couple of features that you would expect from them. One of them being they do have a steel toe, and this feels very, very durable. I did a couple of tests, nothing too scientific or too extreme, but as you can see, it takes a falling hammer like it's nobody's business. So I really have no concerns when wearing this of having anything falling into my feet and hurting my toes. One thing that's worth mentioning is that the very first time that you put on these shoes, you might feel that the sole is kind of slippery. Now, this goes away the moment that you start walking on, dirt and rocks and whatever, kind of breaking in the sole, so to speak. So it's not as slippery anymore now that I have been using it for a few days. But yeah, it was of a concern at first, but it really went away pretty quickly. It is worth mentioning that the material in these shoes is very, very breathable. Now, that's a benefit because your feet are not going to be as hot, but there is that one caveat that any fluids on top of this are going to very easily make their way inside your feet. So if you're looking for any type of protection against fluids, then I would suggest that you look at another option. Otherwise, if what you are more interested in is a little bit more comfort and the usual features of work shoes and something that is not as hot to wear for a very long time, then this is a very, very good option. So thank you to the seller for sending this for me to test out, and I hope that this video was helpful. Hope to see you in the next one, and until then, may God bless you all.